bonds of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
For the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, entertaining last night. That's who the Ravens are. That's that Ravens team that you expect to see. We're going to get into that. What up on a Tuesday, Thanksgiving week? Thank you for being with us this morning as you head into the big holidays. The opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. How you living? All right? All right, we start on Tuesday mornings with Aggie football, and happy to do it. 36-21, New State goes on the road last weekend. They got their first road win of the season. Parker Awad is quarterback. In his 5th start of the year, led the passing attack. How about that? You looked at the box score if you didn't watch the game, and you're like, you rubbed your eyes a little bit maybe, huh? You saw some passing yardage. Tony Sanchez is the head football coach at New Mexico State. Joins us this morning. Congratulations. That's a nice win in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. How you doing?
Doing good, guys. Yeah, that was good. It was good to see the boys go out there and play well and get a W. So it was a good deal.
Move the ball in the air, and you'd been talking about how you've just got to get it. You've been running the ball pretty well all year and find a way to throw the ball. Parker 12 for 16 for 221. Seth McGowan had a huge day, both running and catching, and going on the road. But what did you do differently through the air to find some success?
You know what? There was some good play design with Coach Mitchell. He did a good job of kind of moving the pocket, did a couple throwbacks, and just giving our guys a chance. I mean, Cordell had a really nice adjustment to a deep ball, caught a ball, down there and got us into the scoring position. And, that's really what it was. I mean, we set up the pass through the run, and, we weren't perfect, but we were much better and much more efficient. And we were able to complete some balls on some critical third downs early in the game, and made a big difference.
You played Parker Awad. He throws 16 times, but it was Brandon Nunez who came off the bench and had the 2 touchdown passes, and I know he's been a running threat. He's the guy who cashed the check, but both of your quarterbacks obviously were pretty key in this thing.
Yeah, they were. I mean, we used Nunez completely just in package sets. We didn't, he didn't play a ton, but he came in package sets. And, obviously when we got, 3 backs in the backfield, you're charged up to stop the run. We were able to hit a couple play action passes.
Now, Coach, I know early in the season we were talking about some missed opportunities early in the game, but for your defense to get the pick, it was a pick 6 right off the bat. How did that set kind of the stage for what they were going to do throughout the day?
Well, that was really big. I mean, the 3 weeks in a row we've had 2 interceptions, which is big. We went 5 straight weeks without a turnover, and then that just became a big emphasis. So getting those turnovers is obviously critical, and then turning one into a score, it's a big deal. So I mean, when we after that pick, we led from start to finish, and Dylan Early, great play to start the game off, and just kind of put us off on a good note.
Yeah, you mentioned that second interception, and how big was that? Because that second interception you had, it was before 5 straight scoring drives for both teams.
Yeah, you know what? It was one of those games where we were going back and forth. We could never. I mean, we had plenty of opportunities. You know, where we had a nice lead to be able to pull and make it a 3-score game, and we just couldn't seem to do it. We were just kind of stuck right there, just going back and forth between being up 6 and being up 13. And after that pick, we were able to kind of finally pull away and get a little breathing room.
Tony Sanchez is New Mexico State's football coach. He's with us on the Sports Animal. 5 interceptions in the last 3 games for your defense, and maybe it's late in the season, maybe it's obviously too late for a bowl game, but you're seeing progress, I got to believe, because takeaways are a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big deal, again, for our guys and just kind of getting our footing. And, we got a lot of guys returning, so, getting these guys, some momentum going into the off season and, again, getting a nice road win and then having a chance to play a big rival game here at home. And, it's a big deal for our guys.
How good Seth McGowan? He carried the ball 12 times for 83 yards, at 96 yards in the touchdown receiving, and he's kind of been the guy. Washington's been good as well, but you've got a really good back in Seth McGowan, huh?
Oh, he's special. I mean, he was special coming out of high school. That's why he went to Oklahoma, and obviously had to deal with some adversity and, kind of changed his life a little bit. And he's just done a tremendous job of being a great teammate, being a good person, doing the right thing. But he's a high-level guy. And, and the crazy thing is, he didn't even get here until June, so he hasn't had, like, a true off-season of training and all that. And it's going to be, it'll be fun to see how he progresses. But he's a special guy. And, he's obviously the great player, but he's even a better person.
Now, Coach, you mentioned some of the things that your offense coordinator did to change it up. What's that like late in the season, maybe adding packages, putting some new stuff in at this point?
It's one of those deals where you just kind of base it off what your tendencies are. So you kind of look at your tendencies. So what are some of the things that you do? And then, what are a couple of wrinkles that you can kind of break a tendency on? And, he did that. So, Andrew Mitchell's done a really good job, obviously, with losing Tyler Wright, our offensive coordinator, early in the year. He's had to step up and do some different things. So there's been a lot of different adversities, all the way around. But, proud of him and the way he's worked.
Tony, when you look around that room, win a game like that on the road, and you've talked, one thing you've been consistent about all year long with us, certainly, is that these guys play hard, that you haven't seen any quit. To go on the road and get some validation. And I always think, if you're working your ass off for something, you got to get a little validation. You got to get a little taste. And just to look around the room, what does a win mean for those guys in that locker room?
Like you said, it just validates all the hard work that they put in. I mean, we've given ourselves chances to win games, late in games. I mean, you can go back and there's at least 4 games where in the fourth quarter you're in a 1-score game or we've had a lead or something like that, and we've watched it fizzle. So for those guys to kind of have some resolve is a big deal. And they've practiced their tails off all year long. Well, there hasn't been anybody showing up late or anybody just not wanting to put the work in. I mean, they've attacked the weight room. I mean, we were right back at it on Sunday night, right after the win, and they've been consistent in that. So, that's part of it too, just making sure that the guys understand you got to straighten through the finish line. Life doesn't always work out the way you want it to, but, your effort, you control. We talked about all the time, attitude and effort. Those are things you control every single day. So they've done a good job of having the right attitude, putting in the right amount of work, and it sure would be good to end it with 2 wins in a row.
Makes the plane ride home from Tennessee a hell of a lot better, doesn't it?
Yeah, hell of a lot better, yes.
All right, here comes the rivalry game, and I kicked this around a bunch. First of all, I love that the rivalry game's the last game of the year. And I understand what both your record is and UTEP's record is, but I know also what this rivalry means. Is it different? You've been a part of it for a long time. It's always been early in this season. Is there a different feel down there with your fans, their fans? I don't know what kind of crowd you're expecting for it, but and then probably for a lot of these kids, you got to explain what this rivalry means. Wait, didn't we play a rivalry early in the year, Coach? Yeah, but this one's a big deal too because. So there's a lot of education.
There's no doubt. The thing about it, this one, though, the guys really understand, even the new guys, because these guys are 45 minutes down the road. I mean, we cross paths all the time. Obviously we recruit against them and stuff like that. But, I mean, anytime, our guys go home, fly out of the airport, you got to drive by UTEP. I mean, this is part of kind of our everyday deal. So they know it. We got 2 big trophies for this game. We got the brass spittoon and the silver spade. So I brought those things out on Sunday night, brought the trophies out, talked about it a little bit, and talked about the last couple years. And so, yeah, we've done some educating on it, and it's a big deal. I mean, regardless of when it's played, but it is nice rivalry weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, having, the season end on this note, and, it's kind of fitting for college football. A lot of big games going on, and, this one's really, really important to us and our two communities that are, so intertwined.
Now, my theory is no matter what the records are, if you play a game at the end of the year, at least there's going to be something for fan bases and hopefully for your players to be fired up about. This is your bowl game. This is their bowl game.
100%. It's always, and the thing about it is, if we take away all, you just cut back the layers and you look at it, you don't get that many opportunities to play games. And even if you go to bowl games or play in championships, you're talking about, 12 scheduled games and 13 or maybe 14. And our sport's so different than every other sport. You put the amount of time that we spend practicing compared to playing is so different than baseball or basketball. They play so many games, so, no matter, who you're playing, where you're playing, you got to revel in the opportunity to get out there and compete. And then when it makes it a rivalry game, it's that much more significant.
Along those lines, Coach, with the way college athletics is too, it's so much harder to say, hey, we're going to take this momentum into the offseason because you just don't know what the offseason is going to be like. So how does that mindset maybe help you guys just in this moment to embrace this game and not try to make it like, oh, we won the last game, we'll carry this momentum over, just look at this opportunity that might not come for a lot of people?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's a transient game. And that's part of the issue too with like rivals. Like you walk in and how many guys have played in the game 4 years in a row? It's just it's getting less and less common, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, you're right. You just got to kind of focus on the here and now. It's senior day. We've got some amazing guys that have just done a tremendous job in their journey here, helping us get to bowl games and championships and then guys that stuck it out to help us try to continue to rebuild this thing. And, there's going to be some special guys we're going to say bye to on Saturday that, just, again, had a great college experience. And, so, we want to, again, win on the, end the season with a win, take it into the off season. Guys that are returning, they'll remember that feeling. Pass it on to other people and just give our fan base and, our kids something that, to be fired up about. But it's not going to be easy. Scotty's doing the same thing over there at UTEP, and they're working hard. And so we got to make sure we just have a great Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And what happens Saturday will be a microcosm of that.
What do you do with them for Thanksgiving? Big plans? You get them all together? How do you guys handle that on a big game week?
Yeah, we're a morning practice team, so when we get done, we'll get done around 11:30 on Thursday, and then Chala's local restaurant in town. Guy does a great job. He comes in, he's going to cook a big Thanksgiving feast for him. So we got the turkey and the stuffing and the gravy and the mashed potatoes and all the, the casseroles and all that. So we're going to go ahead and we'll feed them up.
Dylan Early gets something special for being Conference Defensive Player of the Week, or is he just another guy this week?
No, we'll make sure he gets a big wing.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Hey, you around next Tuesday? We'll wrap up these Tuesdays, wrap up the season next Tuesday morning?
Yeah, sounds good, man, right before the early signing day.
All right. Well, we'll catch you next Tuesday. Good luck against the Miners. Have a happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and have fun against the Miners. I know it's always a fun one on Saturday.
No doubt. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys, too. God bless, man. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, Tony. He is Tony Sanchez. Dylan Early, Defensive Player of the Week in Conference USA with that pick six in the victory over the Blue Raiders for New Mexico State. He broke up a pass in a big moment, forcing a fourth down with the Blue Raiders nagging territory when they were threatening to score before halftime. And his pick six was New Mexico State's first defensive touchdown of the season. So that was Dylan Early, Conference USA Defensive Player of the Week. All right, when we come back, we'll set you up at the top. 505-246-0610. He was good today, huh? Winning's fun, isn't it?
Winning is awesome.
Winning's fun. Look, it just feels different. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
In-store magazine. If you are looking for jewelry, don't hit the malls. Don't go to John Thomas Jewelers. 3rd floor, Lewis University building, right across the street from the mall, east side on Louisiana, 2440 Louisiana Northeast. The best jewelry store, period. And it's unique. They've got their own design center right there on campus or right in their store. They've got over 3,000 ladies and men's bridal rings right there for you to try on, and they'll customize any ring that you can think of. And if you can't think of it, they'll help you with it. I was in there. I was just amazed at the whole operation they've got there. A lot of places send all their custom stuff out to Denver, Dallas, or LA or whatever. They do it right there. So whether it's an engagement ring or an anniversary ring, or you're looking for that perfect holiday gift, it is John Thomas Jewelers. They're the only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in town, fastest growing jeweler in New Mexico, and been voted best jeweler for 4 straight years. They're going to be your sweet deal today. John's going to be in here at about 8:40. We got a great sweet deal for you, but there's so many reasons to see for yourself why John Thomas Jewelers is the best jeweler in Albuquerque. Visit johnthomasjewelers.com or go see them at Louisiana, 1 block south of Menaul. 3rd floor, it's the Lewis University building, John Thomas Jewelers. All right, opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, open for business for you today, 505-246-0610. Last night, J.J. Ravens, that's that team, right? That's the team that everybody goes, oh, man, they can be the best team in football. Yeah, but they lost 4 games in a row. I know. And sometimes they sleepwalk through stuff, or they lost a game because Isaiah Likely's foot was a little bit too big. 30-23 doesn't do it justice. They were dominant last night. Chargers scored on their opening drive, and I thought the Ravens were terrific ever since. And Derrick Henry. Look, running backs, this whole running backs don't matter thing is being put to bed by Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley this year.
It is. Running backs absolutely do matter. You don't need to overpay one. You don't need to pay a guy a second contract to make him one of your highest paid offensive players. But if you have an established team, get one of these next level guys, because take a good offense and make it great.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing with Baltimore. They flashed greatness because you had an NFL MVP in Lamar Jackson. But then you add Derrick Henry, and all of a sudden they're beating you on the ground, not with Lamar's legs, but with Derrick Henry's legs. Explosive plays in the passing game. Zay Flowers has been phenomenal all year. Bateman's 40-yard touchdown last night.
What a catch.
Oh, just a dagger to the heart in Monday Night Fantasy. Going against Bateman. It's one of those games.
I get that.
And he finishes 2 for 43 in a touchdown. You're like, really?
That sucks.
But it's the explosiveness of the Baltimore Ravens, and that's why they are still a top-tier team. There's 3 teams that have separated themselves from the rest of the AFC.
In the AFC, yeah.
It's Kansas City, because you can say all you want about them not covering the spread. They win close games. They're champion with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. It's the Buffalo Bills, because Josh Allen's going to keep you in every single game. And it's the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep, I think that's right. And people were trying to find a reason to put the Chargers into that conversation, and they got put back yesterday. They got look, especially if Dobbins is hurt, and I don't know how seriously that injury is going to be. Wait! Quentin Johnson just dropped another ball.
Yeah, and that's
what the hell, dude.
That's why he fell out of favor last year, even as a rookie. And this is the thing with the Chargers is, as much as you like the quarterback and coach combo, that's why they're where they are right now. But we're sitting here saying, oh, you need a running back, you need this. They don't have that around Herbert. They don't have.
When Dobbins is healthy,
he's been good.
He's not Derrick Henry.
Breaker. He's the here's 20 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown.
JJ, I'd argue with you. There's 2 guys in the league that are that. Yeah. I mean, you can tell me Mixon and Jacobs, but and who are really good and have games. Neither one. There's 2 dudes. It's the guy you watched last night, Derrick Henry, and it's Saquon Barkley. And everybody else is a shelf.
Well, I'm talking on the outside as well for the.
Yeah, no. Look, his weapons are brutal right now. I mean, that's why he's created Will Dissly, and McConkey's going to be fine. But Quentin Johnston needed to be what they needed him to be, and he's not. And that's why they're not what they want to be. But as far as a running back, you got 2 dudes. Like you can give me all the Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomerys and Mixons. They're really good, and they're the next shelf. But there's 2 dudes. Am I wrong? I mean, it's Barkley and it's Henry. You got somebody else? McCaffrey's not there anymore.
No, not Achilles, man.
He's just not. I mean, look, Kyron Williams is good, and Jahmyr Gibbs is good, and Jacobs and Mixon and Kamara, they're all good. These 2 beasts are a different breed. They just are. Bijan Robinson was supposed to be that guy. Maybe he will, but he's not. Right? I mean, these 2 guys are different. And you see, they may meet in the Super Bowl. Like, they might. If you saw Eagles and Ravens in the Super Bowl, would that surprise you?
No, it would not.
Yeah. And then the narrative's going to be, all right, yeah, you got to have a quarterback, and we're paying receivers $35 million a year. But, look at this. Well, let's see, though. Because, I mean, it hasn't happened yet. Right? It could still be the Chiefs with their committee of running backs.
You see there's a value there. I know we didn't put him on that tier, but Joe Mixon
he's been really good. He's been a difference maker.
Houston has been on the plus side at all this season.
Yeah. Yeah, but they've lost, what, 4 of their last 6 or whatever it is? But, yeah, he's been a difference maker.
Like he's had some phenomenal games.
Let me just tell you, there's been good running backs, and again, at a different level. I think James Conner's really good. I think what Jacobs has done for Green Bay has been phenomenal. What those 2 running backs do for Detroit is just it puts them at a different level. They've got Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, who are just terrific. Aaron Jones has been really, really good for the Vikings. I agree with you. Jonathan Taylor's been all right. The running, hell, Pittsburgh's running game. The 2 of them, Najee Harris and Warren.
That's your good enough. Solid. That's what you're getting out of the Chargers. But, man, the Henry and Barkley put great running backs in a good offense. Watch out.
Go look at Seattle's games when they're really good. They won last week, but I didn't think they were really good. Kenneth Walker has a really good game. Right? They run the ball really well. When they get beat on the road, he's
super important
21.
still in the NFL. It was just the wave was you don't need to pay these guys. You don't need the second contract. Just go find that rookie running back, go find that veteran guy and put him in there.
What does yesterday tell you about the Chargers?
That they're good, but there's just a different level in the AFC.
Yeah.
I don't think the Chargers are a lot different than Denver and Miami. Those teams that are going to be playoff teams fighting for playoff spots, but there's just a level that those teams can't get to. Maybe Miami, but then again, if they have to go play in cold weather,
I don't trust Miami just because at some point they're going to have to play in cold weather. I just watched that quarterback wilt, like literally wilt last year. And look, it was stupid cold. Like that wasn't cold weather. That was dumb. But you got to play the game, and the other dude played pretty well.
Yeah, and they're going to have a long way to go to get back in the playoff race. But if they are playing, and you got those 2 games at the end of the season on the road, the Jets, Browns, the atmosphere.
Yeah, those are the last 2.
The Dolphins right now, they would be they're the 8th place.
Okay,
so 1 game out.
So you're going into, because the Dolphins are in a situation where they're going to have to win games those last 2 weeks. You trust them at Cleveland or at the Jets? I mean, it's going to be 2 teams who are out of it.
Trust them until you see it happen.
Yeah,
because we talk so much about the elements being a factor.
Yeah,
right. I mean, that's just something you just can't replicate.
No,
unless you just leave early and say we're going to go practice outside for 2 days.
Freeze our asses off for a few days and go. And even then, so okay. Chargers run and look. I think they're better than the Falcons, but they got to go on the road and play the Falcons on a short week. I'm not a big fan of making teams who play Monday night go on the road the next week, but that's a whole other story. So their next 2 at Falcons, at Chiefs, and then they get the Buccaneers and the Broncos. You can find out a lot about the Chargers over the next 4 weeks. And they could slip out of it. I told you yesterday, I think the AFC playoffs are pretty much set. Probably that last playoff spot, the last 2, right? The Broncos and the Chargers that are holding on to those last 2 are up for grabs, but who's there, right? Because everybody else is under 500. Everybody else who's not in a playoff spot in the AFC is under 500. There's only 7 teams that are
in running back down the stretch for a lot of teams. It's going to be key. Look at the Chargers; they were leaning on Dobbins, and he was just grinding, getting the yards, finding the end zone. Without Dobbins, Gus Edwards has looked old and slow. So Haskins was getting some goal line work, but they didn't go to either of those guys. I think they had like 4 rushing attempts in the entire second half. They abandoned their game plan once Dobbins went down to try to run the football. So you look at Kamani Vidal, a rookie that could be there, and another team that you're kind of feeling that same way about is the Commanders going in this week. Austin Eckler, another concussion, so you expect him to miss some time. Robinson dealing with an ankle injury. He had 5 carries, didn't play in the second half, and it's a very important position at this point in the season.
And they've lost 3 in a row. And Eckler got rocked. I mean, he got hit into next week. I've seen no update on Dobbins, by the way. Nothing. All right. We got rants to talk about, whether it's from coaches or receivers. How about Danny Hurley yesterday? They lose to Memphis, and he went nuts in a November game in Hawaii. Just lost it on the officials yesterday. Got a receiver that got arrested for DUI. We got a big signing for Lobo football. 505-246-0610. So much to do. Us and you. Come on in today. When we get back, I want to get into some of the NFL stuff coming out of the week, some of the injuries, some of the conversations, some of, and you can get back in on the Harbowl as well with the Harboros and the boy. It's a good story. They're pretty good personalities to sit down and tell the story. Did you see the one Schefter did with the dad? The dad just broke down crying, talking about his two kids being in the Super Bowl, and what that day was like. It was wow. You're like, whoa. It means that much. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots. Got shots. Got shots.
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as Red and Green.
Get good hoops today too. College basketball's like this time of year. You turn on the game or you turn on the TV during the day, and you just really don't know what you're going to get. Like Nevada got some really good wins last week. They had a close loss, but went on the road and got some good wins. But you got tournaments going on today. Noon today on TBS, JJ. San Diego State Creighton.
What?
Yeah.
Telling me I don't get my King of Queens reruns on TBS.
No. 1:30 today. UConn, Colorado. Oregon A&M today. Houston, Alabama. That's 8 and 9 today. Number 8 versus number 9 today.
There were good ranked games yesterday. North Carolina was down 20 points to Dayton and Maui, and they won that game by 2.
Now they get Auburn today. That's
Auburn beat
4 versus 12.
Iowa State by 2.
Yeah.
That was 4 versus 5.
How's Kansas versus Duke? Do you like that tonight too? You get good hoops, man. Right now, it's in the way these are set up. Midweek hoops.
About this Players Era Festival.
Yeah,
that's going on.
Yeah,
in Vegas.
It's an interesting one now,
with NIL money involved.
Yeah, it's a really, really interesting one. Yep. All right, 505-246-0610. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Good day, gentlemen. Thanksgiving, I believe, is my favorite holiday, and it's kind of the prelude to the amazing holiday season. So I'm grateful this week for a lot of things. Even though I put my Christmas decorations up in early October, I think Thanksgiving might be my favorite. The NFL game last night, I think that receiver from the Chargers just dropped another pass.
Yep.
Great coaches say, Jesus, that was bad. Great coaches say the game comes down to typically 4 or 5 plays, and I would say that receiver from the Chargers was probably 3 or 4 of them last night.
Quentin
and
Johnston.
I understand it gets into your head, and then you can't do anything right. But that game turned on his ability to drop the ball. So I think the Chargers are going to be okay. But you're right, JJ. I think there's a next level. I had a couple of bold predictions from this weekend. I said that Minnesota was going to beat Penn State, and they couldn't close the freaking deal. But the bell toll's coming for Penn State because offensively they're fraudulent. And then I also said that the Carolina Panthers were going to beat the Chiefs. And in their 27 red zone appearances, had they not kicked a copious amount of field goals, they would have pulled off that upset. But a good game, and Mahomes delivered the pretend to run out of bounds and get the great run at the end of the game to win with the winning field goal. So credit to the Chiefs. I do have a bold prediction today. The Steelers are sitting at 8-3. They're not going to get more than 2 more wins during the regular season, and I think that they may miss the playoffs at 10-7. And the reason they're going to get 2 more wins is because they play the Browns at home and they play the Bengals twice. I think they're going to lose the rest of their games outside of those 2. So that's my bold prediction for today. It was a day of reckoning in college football, as you guys spoke about yesterday. Some bad losses: Alabama, Mississippi, Texas A&M, BYU, Colorado. As I predicted, Indiana season would end, and they got taken apart. And then I think Boise State and Penn State. I think
escaped.
Boise State squeaking by the Wyoming team, a 2-win Wyoming team. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, no, they both escaped, and I think if Wyoming's quarterback doesn't hurt, they got a good get hurt. They got concussed, didn't come out at halftime. They got a good chance, and Penn State escaped again.
Absolutely. I think Penn State, they're tough, right? I mean, they play good defense. It's linebacker you, but their coach is so conservative offensively, and they don't beat the big-name teams, and I just think they're going to get clipped, which opens it up for, like, Tennessee. Now, Texas A&M and Texas, watch the upset. I'm rooting for Texas, but A&M's mad. They're playing at home. It's going to be a chaotic environment, but I think we're up for a great finish to the college season. In the NFL, they say the season starts post-Thanksgiving. I think you're going to see some interesting things happen, but we're in for a great home stretch in both college football and the NCAA and the NFL. Yeah. So, gentlemen, have a great day. Thanks for letting me share a few thoughts with you today.
Look, I told you the other day, crazy. Watch it. It will happen last weekend, and it's going to happen this weekend too. College football in November. Bleep happens that you don't see coming. That, like, you just didn't see Auburn beating A&M. Like, it doesn't stun you, but you didn't see it coming. There's no way you saw Oklahoma beating Alabama. Could it happen?
No.
Yeah, I guess
not
it could
the way
happen.
they did.
24-3? No. Like it happens in Wyoming clipping Boise State. Now, I'm really interested in Oregon State, Boise State. I don't know who I think Oregon State is, right? I mean, Oregon State got shut out a week ago at Air Force 28-0. Lost the week before to San Jose State, lost to Cal 44-7. They were on a 5-game losing streak. And then go and beat a pretty good Washington State team. Although I got the email yesterday, Washington State's not that good, and the Lobo victory doesn't matter anymore. Okay, yeah, it matters. Right? I don't know who Oregon State is. Can they beat Boise State? I don't think so. But tell me you're going to be stunned if that happens. I mean, you'll be stunned, but like completely out of the realm.
Nothing is out of the realm in sports, but that would be
right.
Very, very bad.
Well, that one would be horrible,
especially for Boise State because it's.
What happens then? Tulane? If they win the American, who's the highest rated Group of 5 champion? And does UNLV still have a chance? If UNLV beats them,
still be in that mix
in the conference championship game, would UNLV be ranked higher than Tulane, or would it be Army? That's still up for grabs. Look, I'm watching games that I think there's no way a team can win. The Egg Bowl always can go either way, although, I mean, Ole Miss is so much better than Mississippi State. Georgia Tech? Dude, Georgia Tech's won some games this year. They beat Miami. That opener against Florida State stunned everybody, but then we realized, Florida
State's not good.
They're horrible, right? I mean, these rivalry games, is it going to shock you if Georgia gets beat again? And now I'm listening to people, well, can a 3-loss SEC team get in? Well, stop. Everybody wanted this expanded playoff, and I think it's going to be good. But, man, when we were at 4, we knew we had 4 really good teams. At 12, I'm not sure that they're elite. We'll see. We'll watch it play out. I'm excited. Will Michigan, Ohio State, 21-point spread. That rivalry? Michigan scored 50 last week. They scored 15 this week? I'm not sure they do, by the way.
Yeah, might be late.
Here's one. Tennessee's in the playoff right now, I think. Vandy? That's a rivalry game. It's at Vandy. I've watched Diego Pavia do crazier things and beat Tennessee. Right?
That is correct.
That'd be something. I mean, South Carolina Clemson's not a gimme. There's all these games. Can SC get Notre Dame at home? SC's got talent. And if they beat Notre Dame, what does that do to Notre Dame's playoff chances? I just think bonkers stuff is going to happen this weekend. Because I watch it every year. This week, every year, you're like, no way that happened. No way that went down. No way, right? All right. We'll watch it. My child's coming home today, by the way, which was really cool. She's like, Dad, the only time I can get my hair cut. I'm like, you can't get your hair cut there? No, you know how women are, right? They got theirs. The only time was noon on Saturday. That's right during the Michigan-Ohio State game. It's like, yeah, no, we'll get up. We'll watch the game, right? I said, yeah, of course. It's like, yeah, we're probably going to get killed by halftime, so I'm not going to watch the second half anyway. I'm like, maybe. Probably right. Otherwise, you could sit in the chair and put the football game on your phone. You got football on your phone.
Football on your phone.
Yeah, you can.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it is a wonderful thing. 505-246-0610. Come on in today, man. There's so much going on. Raiders quarterback situation is interesting. So is the Niners quarterback situation. Daniel Jones cleared waivers. Where will he land? Boy, do we got a lot to do. 505-246-0610 is the phone line and the text line. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. All right, this is that time of year you got packages put on being delivered all the time. Porch pirates are out. Home break-ins are unfortunately commonplace. Don't be a victim. IPS is a layer of protection that not only will give you peace of mind, but will keep you safe and keep your family safe and your property safe. International Protective Services, affordable private security, who I have trusted for years to watch my home. I know you see them all around town. You see them at the store. You see them in your neighborhood. You probably wonder, what are they all about? It's private security that watches what you've worked so hard to build. You go out of town, they'll pick up newspapers and mail and roll the garbage cans to the curb and back, pick up that package that gets delivered. All of those things to make sure that you are safe and your family is safe. They install alarms and camera systems. They got a state-of-the-art facility that monitors those cameras 24/7, raise the level of security around your home or business, and if the alarm goes off, they respond within 5 to 7 minutes. Understanding you can't prevent all crime, but if you've got no protection, you're much more likely to be victimized. Call IPS. Protect what you've worked so hard to build. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420, online at ipsglobal.com. International Protective Service, passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
This text from Mike. Probably should print this or something. Says, I want to watch Lobo football on TV, Jeff Alou. I don't want to try to figure out how to download something so I can spend 4 hours hunched over the phone trying to watch crummy cell phone video. I don't know that I got much of an answer for you then. So this is from Frankie sent this out yesterday. And it's from the mountainwest.com or the MW.com, how to watch Hawaii football on Spectrum. Okay, so it's up on the website. It'll be on Go Lobos. It'll be on the Mountain West site as well. And so it gives you instructions if you live in Hawaii. If you don't live in Hawaii, all right, and we should probably post this somewhere, don't you think? For Saturday's game, 9 o'clock Mountain Time start. You got to download the Team One Sports app on your phone. That's TEAM1. Okay? You got to download the app. Once you open the app, you got to scroll to the bottom of the homepage and click on Channels. After you clicked on Channels, you search for Hawaii football. Then you have to tap the icon that appears and then tap the broadcast to watch. I know. Please note there are no streams on desktop computers or any connected TV device like Amazon Fire TV. So I think, JJ, once it's on your phone, you can then cast it to your TV, right?
I'm going to assume that's a possibility if you have a smart television.
Okay. Look.
It is frustrating, but if you're sending an email, you can look up the instructions, try to figure it out. It's not great, but it's what you got to do if you want to watch the game.
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise listen to JJ and Robert. Right?
That is correct.
I mean, that's your option. Or call Fernando Lobo and complain to him. I'm kidding. Don't do that. But he better get this fixed. Okay. Yeah, because somehow you're going to change the time and the TV. Although, once they are a full-fledged Mountain West member, I don't know if that is going to change the television situation. But, yeah, that's how it is, man. Again, it is the Team One Sports app. You got to download that. I would do it before if you plan on doing this. I've done this before, and it worked, and I watched it on my phone. That's what the kids do, man. You and your 70-inch TVs, man. Watch on your 5 7/8-inch phone. It's what the kids love to do now. Team One Sports app. Scroll to the bottom of the
It's holiday weekend.
Yeah.
So the
Kids
little
are
one, take their iPad away. Like, I need this. You're going to bed.
There you go. Work on your iPad. See? You download there. Go to channel, search for Hawaii football, tap the broadcast, and there you go. And you're watching football. Remember the guy, was it Robert Kakua, I believe was his name? He passed away. He was like the greatest TV guy ever. The guy that used to do their games. He was on our show a couple of years back. He was really good. All right, that's what I got for you this far. I will give it to you again as we go. All right, quarterbacks in the NFL. Raiders have designated Aiden O'Connell to return from injury reserve. He'll practice in a walkthrough on Tuesday. Won't commit to him playing against the Chiefs on Friday. They play the Chiefs on Friday. What's that spread? Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder is your quarterback for the Raiders on Friday.
That spread is pretty big. You convince yourself that the Raiders can cover.
It's 13. Okay, the Chiefs never cover. But how do you bet the Raiders running Desmond Ridder out there? Have you watched him? Like, there's some dudes you just go, okay, what are we doing? Get Daniel Jones and let him play. Now, I don't know that he wants to go there. He's going to have options. He's going to probably sign as a backup for a contender. Daniel Jones will. Cleared waivers yesterday. Nobody picked up that contract. Niners, their quarterback Brock Purdy missed last week. Did some light throwing yesterday. There were no issues, according to Kyle Shanahan. So, an MRI showed there was no structural damage. He underwent a second MRI after he continued to experience soreness late last week. Niners, Bills, Sunday Night Football. I'll bet there's not a line on that yet, right? Buffalo -7. If you think Purdy's not going to play, you unload on Buffalo and get 7 right now, don't you?
Yeah, take that chance.
I mean, Brandon Allen, another guy. Brandon Allen, Desmond Ridder. I get it, man. Late season NFL. And last year we watched 60-something quarterbacks go through, right?
Over 60 quarterbacks started games.
Started games
in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to find 32 you like. And then this isn't just QB2. This is like QB
3 and 4.
50. QB 57 overall. When you start getting into some of these guys. And it's the funny thing with Daniel Jones. Like, so many people are like, this guy stinks, I'm done with him. And then you're like, you know what?
Kind of like him.
Feel pretty good if he's my backup.
Well, I mean, honestly, let's just say, pick a contender. You know, your dude goes down. You know, who's the Lions' backup?
Right now, it's Hendon Hooker.
I mean, do you feel better about Hendon Hooker? And as much as I like Hendon Hooker, future, if he goes down, you want Daniel Jones or Hendon Hooker? Handing the ball off. I mean, right? I mean, who's the Packers' backup?
Malik Willis.
Oh, he played nice.
Yeah.
All right. Who's the Chiefs' backup? It's Carson Wentz. Right? I mean, you decide what you want. Who's backing up Kyler Murray? He's going to get a job. And he's going to get a job with a contender. And like, Niners makes sense to me. Jim Garoppolo, the Rams' backup, not that they're a contender.
Yes.
Yeah. He will find work somewhere. He will. You like him or Kenny Pickett if Jalen Hurts goes down? See? I mean,
that's a challenge, too, when you're at this point in the season.
For a guy who's been there taking reps all year? I think that's fair. If it's close, you probably stay with your dude. Yeah. If it's close, you probably stay with the guy you got. But
in the case of, say, San Francisco, like, you saw it.
Let me give you, okay.
And it wasn't great. So maybe you're like, well, this phone call.
I'll give you one. Now, they would laugh because this is the team that beat or got beat by him. But when Daniel Jones won his playoff game and made himself $40 million, he beat who? Minnesota Vikings is the number 2 seed. Nick Mullins is the backup there. They're a 2-loss team. Like as much as you overlook the Vikings and tell me they're no good, and that's fine.
Actually, the question last week.
What's that?
Like, wait, Minnesota has 8 wins? What's happening?
Dude, they're 9-2. They've won 4 in a row. As much as you may tell me they're not that good, they're going to be a high seed and get a home playoff game probably.
Shefty yesterday said Minnesota and Baltimore sniffing around on Daniel Jones.
Minnesota makes a ton of sense. A ton of sense. All right, 505-246-0610. Hey, I think Kenny Thomas is going to be here. We're going to kick it with Kenny coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll talk a little Lobo basketball. You want to hear what Richard Pitino had to say after the game? We'll do that at 8:15. After beating Texas Southern the other day. Boy, the Giants. Giant mess. It keeps getting better or worse. Head coach had to go to his star receiver, calm him down. One of them is going to be there next year. One of them is not. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a
Construction Safety Company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros
defense. Big hoops all over the place yesterday. You got great college hoops. Dan Hurley lost his marbles on the referees, blasted them as they got beat to UConn by Memphis. We got to get into that. Maybe we'll do that with Kenny when he's here. Kenny Thomas going to kick it with Kenny. Coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll do that on Tuesdays and Fridays, headed through basketball season now, so that's going to be back. This yesterday, JJ, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Hi.
What's up?
Malik Neighbors is going to be really good. And he was upset that he didn't get the ball. He's the rookie receiver for the Giants. I don't know what he expected, man. I mean, you got Tommy DeVito out there just trying to find anybody and throw the ball, and he threw it underneath a lot. So wide receiver Malik Neighbors of the Giants and their defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence both called the team soft. They got a left tackle saying that he didn't think everybody's giving 100%. They're 2-9. Brian Dable's the head coach. He was asked at his press conference, hey, do you believe with your guys who think your team's soft and you're not giving 100%? Quote Dable, guys played hard, they played with effort, just didn't do enough. Talking about Neighbors, he said he's a very competitive individual. Again, you want to get the ball in his hands. I got to do a better job of getting the ball in his hands early. He's smart, young guy, very competitive. When you lose like that, it's very frustrating. But we've got good communication, as we always have. So Dable evidently, JJ, had to go and talk to his rookie wide receiver, who after the game told reporters, man, you don't target me in the first half, the second half. Well, it's 30-0, then you're throwing me the football. And he's all bent out of shape. He's like, you can see it. He says, go out there first, second quarter, don't get the ball. Start getting targets in the end. I mean, can't do that. Start getting the ball when it's 30-0. What do you want me to do? Emotional locker rooms are like not the best place for players.
The Giants are a mess.
They
man.
are.
They don't have any leadership, and you bench Daniel Jones, and again we go back to he wasn't playing good, but still you know what you have, and a bad Daniel Jones for those guys was at least better than what they're throwing out there. And the Tommy DeVito stuff, it's not about a spark. It's just simply, hey, we don't want to have to guarantee Daniel Jones
100%.
more money, and so they benched him, and then they just outright cut him, and then you're looking around, and at this point too, if you're the Giants, you're paying Drew Lock $5 million. Why is this guy not getting a chance to start?
Why do you think that is? I mean, that's straight out. We're trying to get the top draft pick.
You paid
right?
Drew Lock to be your backup quarterback. He doesn't even get that chance. And then you expect the locker room to be behind you. Expect these guys who are still trying to compete. Like, it's so easy to say. We hear the narrative all the time. People are like, yeah, tank, get the high draft pick. Awesome. Yeah, get that quarterback. It doesn't always work that way, guys. We've seen it time and time again. If you have a mess of an organization that's not trying to function at a high level, it doesn't matter what quarterback you're going to bring in, you're going to destroy that quarterback. And that's the way the Giants are trending.
Yeah. It's about getting the worst record in the league so you can get the first pick and maybe get Shedeur Sanders. I got to believe that's where it is, because why else wouldn't you pay the guy that you brought in to be your backup quarterback? And you got guys who are out there, and it's really tough. On one hand, you sit here and say you're a professional. You're getting paid, play football, go out and bust your ass. And on the other hand, you're going, I mean, they don't want to win. Why do you want me to win?
Yeah, that's the rub, is Tommy DeVito is not the best option right now. It would be Drew Lock.
And everybody in that locker room sees it.
And so that's exactly what you laid out and what we discussed. Like, we want to believe that even bad teams, all right, you understand that you stink, but you're showing up to play. It's just like the conversation about the Cowboys the last couple weeks. What did they do? They showed up to play a football game in Washington, won it. You can do that. But when you have this bad of a franchise, everyone's screaming like, yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're going to tank and we're going to get Shedeur. Well, there's a lot of mess behind the scenes. But there's a reason a lot of these high draft picks we think are busts, because the organizations are disasters.
So will Daniel Jones be better somewhere? Like, when you
I
look
think
at
Daniel Jones will be a fine backup in the NFL.
All right, is Daniel Jones have a potential? Let me go a little bit better than fine backup. I've watched dudes in bad situations go somewhere else and be serviceable starting quarterback, serviceable to better. I'm watching a guy quarterback a 9-2 team that everybody told me was a bust.
Yeah, Sam Darnold. I think
I'm watching a guy who's first place in the NFC West quarterback a team that everybody said was a bust when he was in New York.
I don't know if he'll be Geno Smith level. Like, if he's, I think we could see Sam Darnold, but that's like really good coach, solid situation you got to go into.
Okay.
Which is not many times you're getting a quarterback into that.
And I hear people say, well, no way. Look at it. He's horrible. He's horrible. Hold on. Was Geno Smith with the Jets or Sam Darnold with the Jets any worse than Daniel Jones was with the Giants?
It's not crazy to think that Daniel Jones can be productive. No, I don't know if he has Geno Smith. Like, Seattle wasn't great, but they put it together. They built. He was good 2 years ago. Has been good.
2 years ago, when we started the show, when we started football season, Seattle was a consensus bottom three team. In the
NFL. I don't think he's as good as Geno Smith.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. No, can he have a run like that? And I don't know, but I'm going to tell you, I don't think Geno Smith was any better with the Jets. In fact, I would argue that Geno Smith was worse with the Jets than Daniel Jones was with the Giants. And so what you're saying is you give a guy the right situation, the right staff, the right atmosphere, the right culture, the right surroundings, get him the hell out of there. Then maybe there's a second act. And we've seen it with some guys. Hell, look at Malik Willis.
Yeah.
Malik Willis in Tennessee, they wouldn't even let him throw the damn football. He came in for Jordan Love, and he won 3 games, 2 games?
They won 2 games. Good game planning.
And guys get better. And look, Daniel Jones at the point where I don't know how much better Daniel Jones is going to get. He's been in the league long enough. But I'm looking around, man, and I see a few dudes, not a bunch, not a ton, but I see a few guys who found a different situation. I don't know. Ask me about Russell Wilson this year to 2 years ago. Is he in a better spot than he was 2 years ago? Is he a better quarterback now? I mean, he's winning now, right?
That one, too, is just having a coach that believed in you. Like, Sean Payton was out from the get-go.
That's right.
On Russell Wilson.
That's right. But Nathaniel Hackett wasn't.
Nathaniel Hackett's terrible.
Yeah, but he was all in on Russ, and the whole franchise was all in on Russ. The whole franchise was all in on Russ. Everything they gave up for Russ, they were all in.
Because they were desperate.
And he was bad. But so was the situation.
They got caught off guard thinking that Aaron Rodgers was coming because we got Nathaniel Hackett. Nope.
Agree.
But then
You're not wrong.
When you're desperate, you trade for Russell Wilson. Yeah. You trade for Deshaun Watson.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Deshaun Watson. All right, 505-246-0610. It's really interesting. When we come back, I do want to hit this because this came down yesterday, and I got an email on it. The Mountain West Conference Volleyball Tournament is set to start, and it started in court. What the courts decided, it will be appealed, but not in time to make any changes before the tournament starts. So what's going to happen at the Mountain West Conference Tournament with all the controversy? Will there be forfeits? It's going to be interesting. And a lot of people, I mean, you got all the news channels now are watching it too. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Traffic updates this morning. The I-25 interchange looks slow for drivers headed east on I-40 towards the north on I-25 ramps. Also, that earlier southbound crash on I-25 going southbound near Montaño has cleared. And on San Mateo Boulevard,
We would
expect
like
south.
to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past. Built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Las Vegas this weekend, Jeff. Thursday, while people are stuffing their faces with turkey and footy, Harold will be watching a drama-filled Mountain West Conference volleyball tournament to see who shows up. If you're the host that bid big dollars to get the tournament, how nervous are you with the potential teams forfeiting? I don't know if you're, I think they're all going to show up. This will be interesting. So you've been certainly aware of the controversy surrounding San Jose State volleyball team and a transgender player, and they are the number 2 seed in the Mountain West Conference volleyball tournament. U.S. District Judge Cato Cruz yesterday denied a motion seeking emergency injunctive relief that would have banned the player, stripped the Spartans of 6 league wins that were obtained by forfeit, and prevent them from participating in the Mountain West Conference. Blair Fleming is the player. It was a 28-page ruling, JJ, and the judge addressed the alleged fairness and safety issues which were raised not only by other teams but by San Jose State's co-captain, Brooke Slusser. The judge focused on the timing of the plaintiff's complaint, which was filed less than 2 weeks before the conference tournament was to begin. Now, there's going to be an appeal, but the appeal will not be heard before the tournament is played this week. The Mountain West has a transgender participation policy. It's been in place since 2022. All teams have been made aware of it. The judge said that the plaintiffs, that would be the ladies suing the league, could have sought injunctive relief much earlier since they've been aware of San Jose State's alleged transgender player for months. Quote, the court finds the movant's delay was not reasonable. There is no evidence to suggest they were precluded from seeking emergency relief earlier, and the rush to litigate these complex issues now over a mandatory injunction places a heavy lift on the Mountain West Conference at the 11th hour, end quote. There was no ruling on really the legality of the issue itself, but the judge ruled basically based on the timing, JJ. So San Jose State is the 2nd seed in the Mountain West tournament. They get a first-round bye. There's Friday scheduled to face the winner between Utah State and Boise State. Both of those schools forfeited their match against San Jose State in the regular season. Now, what happens now? I don't know. Utah State, Boise State, according to this story, were among the Mountain West schools that forfeited matches against San Jose State during the regular season. Nevada and Wyoming chose to boycott rather than face an opponent believed to have a transgender player as well. Nevada's Sia Lilly said, quote, the vast majority of our team decided this is something we wanted to take a stand on. We didn't want to play against a male player. In all of our team meetings, it's just coming back to the fact that men do not belong in women's sports. If you were born a biological male, you don't belong in women's sports. It's not about this individual athlete. It's about fair competition for everyone. That was a young lady on Nevada. JJ, I don't know what to expect on Friday. The winner of the Boise State, Utah State, do they take the court?
If they've been this adamant to this point, I don't think they do.
Then their season's over. The winner of this tournament goes on to the NCAA tournament. I'm watching this. I mean, this has been on, pick your news. I don't care where you get your news. Yeah, pick your outlet.
I do understand the ruling on it, the way it was described. And this is something that I'm sure the Mountain West is going to have to continue to address more in the offseason. And I think that given the change in leadership in the country, too, that there's going to be a definite push to get a decision on this very soon across the board.
So the policy was agreed upon by the league, not the commissioner, whether it was the ADs or the president sitting around the table. They came to the conclusion on this policy. San Jose State's statement is, quote, San Jose State University will continue to support its student athletes and reject discrimination in all forms. All San Jose State University student athletes are eligible to participate in their sport under NCAA and Mountain West Conference rules. We are gratified that the court rejected an 11th hour attempt to change those rules. Our team looks forward to competing in the Mountain West Volleyball Tournament this week. That was from San Jose State. Now, San Jose State University is part of the California State University system, right? At one point there were 19. I mean, San Diego State, Fresno State, Sacramento State, all the state universities. There's like two big systems there. UC is a different system. It's UCLA, UC Berkeley, UC Riverside, UC Santa Barbara, etc. The Cal State University release, quote, the California State University fully supports its student athletes in their right to play and compete in the sports they love. The CSU does not tolerate discrimination of any kind on or off the court. We applaud the court's decision and will be cheering on the San Jose State University volleyball team as they continue to compete for a championship in the Mountain West Conference Tournament, end quote. All right. This isn't over. Not even close, man. And this will escalate this week. Now, there's going to be a lot of football to get lost in. There's going to be NFL, and there's going to be, and a lot of hoops, there's so much. But this is going to be something to watch. I honestly don't have a feel, JJ, and I've been looking for something in, the Utah State Press, the Boise State Press. I don't know where this goes this week. Now, this is going to be interesting because now there's a lot on the line. Now this is your season. You don't play, your season's over. Do you take a stand? Your dreams to go to the NCAA tournament. You want to go to the NCAA tournament? What do you do? And this is all going to go down in Vegas. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com, JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. All right, Mud asks, is the Lobos Rainbow Warriors football game free access, or do we have to sign up for months? Look, man, I'll read you the information. I'll read it to you again. But I think it's free. JJ, isn't that the way you understood it?
Yes.
All right, so it's free access, that you don't have to sign up for months. And if I'm wrong, don't yell at me, because I didn't make the rules here.
Call the new AD.
Mud, you got to here's what you got to do. I'll tell you again, and I'll tell you again, and I'll tell you again. Download the Team One Sports app on your phone. Team One, the number one. Open the app, scroll bottom of the homepage, click on channels. Once you're on channels, search for Hawaii football. Tap that icon that appears, and then tap the broadcast to watch. There's no streams. There's no Amazon. It's on your phone, man, or on your iPad. And you might, I would assume, be able to cast it to your TV if you've got that. I mean, that's not huge technology. All right. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Traffic updates this morning. The I-25 interchange looks slow for drivers headed east on I-40 towards the north on I-25 ramps. Also, that earlier southbound crash on I-25 going southbound near Montaño has cleared. And on San Mateo...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
505-246-0610. This is interesting to me, and I've been digging, and I don't see anything on this. Text line. It says, can we please talk about the elephant in the room? Why the hell is Bronco Mendenhall interviewing at Utah State? Sincerely, jaded Lobo fan. JJ, I can't find anything. I know the Utah State job is open. Nate Dreiling's the interim, and he's been the interim all season because Blake Anderson got let go right before Media Day. I don't see anything anywhere that tells me that Bronco Mendenhall interviewed for that job. That doesn't.
There's
mean
nothing concrete. There was a report on social media yesterday.
A credible
Mike
report?
Whitman.
All right, who's that?
Who says he's recruiting and everything else for the Mountain West Connection.
Okay.
He said sources indicate that Utah State is down to 4 finalists. Said BYU defense coordinator Jay Hill is one of them. A current Mountain West head coach is another finalist, and at least one more Mountain West head coach interviewed for the job. That seems to be where this got ignited.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Whitman says, yeah. Now he said they're expected to name a coach in the next week. All right. So people were just assuming it's Bronco. Is that right?
That's what it looks like.
Jay Hill, he interviewed for the job when Danny got it, right? The UNM job.
Yes, he was in the mix.
He was one of the finalists, in fact. All right. It's interesting. Look, I'm just reading. I refuse to just get caught up in message board stuff. Oh, I heard Bronco. I doubt he wants. Well, okay. Look, I don't know. In today's world, I hate the speculation game. I don't like to play that. I know Lobo fans go, well, I just got a new AD. It's not the AD who signed him, and they're going to the pack. And I mean, I hear your train of concern, but I've heard nothing credible other than that text, and that's not. I mean, I'm not going to say you're not credible, dude. I need more than I just heard one dude say maybe Bronco interviewed on a message board, right? I need a little more than that.
Yeah, then you start getting into my buddy this and that and on it.
Yeah. Everybody's
where you're at.
Everybody's got a guy. Wow. All right. If you know something more, I'm listening. But I hadn't heard anything. Steve from Michigan says, "Hey Jeff, next Thanksgiving come to Ann Arbor and enjoy the Michigan-Ohio State game. But before that game, go to the Lions Thanksgiving Day game. So next Thanksgiving, I guess I'm going to Michigan.
You're going to Michigan a lot next year.
Sounds well. It's the same weekend, right?
Well, I mean, Lobos.
Oh yeah.
Season opener.
So I guess I would go in on whenever. We'll do Thanksgiving. How do you do that? You go to the Lions game first? That's the early game, right? It's a noon game there. So I'll go to the Lions game, and then we'll go do Thanksgiving, then I'll hang out, and then go to the big house for Michigan, Ohio State next week or next year. It's my Thanksgiving.
Sounds like a pretty good week.
All right, I'm just asking. No, I'm in on that. This one says, where'd it go? Got to get the win first, but do you guys think Dampier will play if the Lobos make a bowl game? It's from J-Rod.
Yes.
I do too.
100% that dude would play.
100%.
That's a feel I have just
I won't
watching
go 100%. I'd go 90%. Yeah.
Understand NIL world, and Devin Dampier has the chance next year to cash the biggest check of his life.
Does it matter which bowl game it is?
Feels like he's the guy that would play one more game.
Does it? Okay, so the transfer portal opens up, I think, on the 6th. Does it matter? Like, I think the famous Idaho Potato Bowl is the 23rd, I think. The Hawaii Bowl is the 24th. Arizona and New Mexico are the 28th. I think those are kind of the potentials, right? Where New Mexico could end up. Does it matter if it's an early or late game? Does that extra week matter?
Like, you're right. You can't ever say for 100% certain, but listening to Devin Dampier talk, the way he's conducting himself this season, like that would surprise me if we got to this point. They win this game at Hawaii, get bowl eligible, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Yeah, I would be surprised too. But I guess nothing. I mean, like I said, man, nothing shocks me anymore.
You can't be shocked, but man, that would just be a complete 180
from who he's
the
been.
guy we've seen him be this season.
Yeah, no, I get that. All right, I boy, my mind's a little bit blown by that one email because I had not heard any whispers. Had you seen that before?
I saw it last night,
The report that a Mountain West coach had interviewed,
And then-
or two Mountain West coaches have interviewed at Utah State.
You go, okay, who could that be? Of like the remaining Mountain West.
Well, you're like, all right, it's not Spencer Danielson. It
Not
could be
any of those.
It could be Tim Skipper, and it could be Nate Dreiling. Right, the two interims.
Yeah.
Could be.
I don't think that'd be a weird way to put it, though. If you're,
Right.
if it's Utah State's
Like the
interim,
incumbent, the
yeah.
incumbent interim.
Yeah, and to not just say that in the tweet.
Yeah, yeah, it would be. I like I said, I'd not seen that before, but I would be really surprised. I guess nothing should really surprise me at that point when you come down to it. All right, we got something really cool for you today, and I tell you on a daily basis how cool this place is, and I'm not going to lie to you ever, but you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth, because not only have they been voted and named the coolest jewelry store in America, or one of them by In-Store Magazine. It is by far the best jewelry store in town, and they are your sweet deal. We got a sweet deal for you. It goes live on our website, sportsanimalabq.com, right at 9 o'clock. And if you click on the sweet deal icon, you get a sweet deal, $1,000 to spend at John Thomas Jewelers for $500. John Thomas is here. It's good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Hello, Jeff. Good morning.
It's been a little bit too long.
Yeah.
You good?
Fantastic, actually. We're excited for this holiday season.
Happy holiday season.
Thank
Happy Thanksgiving. I tell people every day how cool your place is. I talk about the first time I walked in there, and I literally walked around. You took me to the back and where everything's made and the design center. Tell people a little bit in your words. I mean, it's coming from me, but it's your place and it's your passion.
Well, we've built something really special. You know this because you've been there, but you walk in, if you just want to pick a diamond tennis bracelet, it's in the case there. It's at eye level. You don't have to bend over and say, hey, can I see this one? Can I see that one? But we also have the design center, like you said. We have a 3D scanner. We can scan in your grandmother's ring and make a duplicate. Exactly, because it lives in CAD after that. We can print the wax. You can try it on. We have rare chameleon diamonds. We have ruby sapphires. We have a $58,000 no heat purple sapphire. I mean, who in town has that?
Yeah.
That's it. I know.
Where do you get that?
So from the earth.
Yeah, from the earth. I went digging.
But it's just really unique. It's probably the most unique shopping experience I've ever had, and that's why we built that. Just walking into the store, third floor of an office building, already sets us apart.
You've got to want to get to your place. Yeah, you don't stumble upon John Thomas Jewelers like you're walking through the mall and you just go, hey, what do they got in the case? And nothing against those places. This is just a different level, and the quality and the service that you get there. And one thing, because I think you understand this, jewelry stores can be intimidating.
They can be.
Especially, a dude doesn't know, or a lady doesn't know, what is a cut, what is a color, what does it mean? They just want size and whatever. And the patience that you and your staff showed to me, and then I watched with other customers, I think sets it above, because you're not just, hey, I'm just trying to sell you a rock or a ring or a set of earrings.
We're the only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in New Mexico. One of the most common words used in our Google reviews is experience.
Yeah.
So the experience when you come in there is very calming. It's if you're coming in there for an engagement ring, that's a scary purchase.
It's a big one.
You
too.
leave there going, man, this was fantastic. So
yeah. I found mine in a box somewhere, by the way. My wedding ring. Like, I was cleaning out the garage the other day, and hey, there it is. I don't know what to do with it now. Maybe I'll come see John Thomas Jewelers. All right, here's what we're doing for you for this sweet deal today. For you spend $500, you get $1,000 to spend at John Thomas Jewelers. That's quite a deal. There's only going to be 6 of these available. Go live on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon, and you can purchase that. People are probably saying right now, all right, there's 17 minutes to go. I want to look at it. It's johnthomasjewelers.com, right? They can go look at everything that you've got there, and I know you encourage them to come by and see you and say hello.
absolutely, yeah. The website has about 1/10 of our inventory, so you get a little sampling from it. But yeah, we're predicting this. This kicks off at 9 o'clock. I think by 9:01, all 6 will be gone. So it's going to be a race to see who can grab them. And $1,000, as you know, at my store goes a long way. You can fill your stocking with everything.
So I've gifted there, and it's done very well for me. Thank you. And the other thing, and I've tried to explain this to people, the nationwide warranty, right? And this is, you're the only jeweler in town that does it. And people are like, well, what does that mean? That means that there's a network of jewelers, fine jewelers, that if you purchase something, have something made at John Thomas Jewelers, and something, you live in St. Louis, New York, Atlanta, Los Angeles, San Diego, wherever, something goes wrong, the setting comes loose, it is warranted at Jewelers, and you're the only one in town that does that.
And we'll take it a step further. I had a couple call me from Florida on vacation. She bent the prong on her brand new ring. He proposed down there.
Yeah.
And then
she said yes?
Yeah, she said yes, of
How
course.
many do you come back and they say no?
I've had one in the last 5 years.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a pretty good batting average.
And we're the only store that gives a 1-year no penalty exchange on custom engagement
So
rings.
she says, no,
She
you're
says,
not
no,
stuck.
we can figure something out. But this couple called from Florida. She bent the prong on her brand new ring. We went online, looked up. There was a jeweler 2 miles from them that was part of the program. They went in there, had it fixed for free while they waited while on vacation, 2,000 miles from here. It's
beautiful.
It's the only store that offers that.
You're the best, and your place is the best. Guys, I'm not lying to you. I mean, whatever jewelry store experience you've had, if you're looking, it's the holidays, it's a holiday gift, an anniversary, an engagement, whatever it is, John Thomas Jewelers is the only spot that you should go. Or hit the other ones, and then you'll realize, wow, I'm never going back. John Thomas Jewelers is different. It's on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. It's 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310. So it's right across from the mall, east across. East would be towards the mountains if you're new to town. You can go to the 3rd floor and experience the best jewelry shopping you'll ever experience. And of course, the sweet deal. 9 o'clock. Go to our website, sportsanimалabq.com. Click on the icon that says Sweet Deal, and $500 gets you $1,000 to spend at John Thomas Jewelers. Good to see you, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a great holiday season.
You too. Thank you.
It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options and easy-to-use mobile app.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505 294-7684 or visit HansWillerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Message board mentioned the job was down to Jay Hill and Bronco. Just remember in March, another message board said the Louisville coaching job was down to the Indiana State coach and Richard Pitino. How accurate was that? I don't know that. Well, who got that job? It was a different coach, right? Ken Niumatalolo is an interesting name they're throwing around on these boards too, as a guy with Utah ties. Who I look at some of the names they're throwing around. Jay Hill, Nate Dreiling. Matt Wells' name is on there. Frank Miley, who I really like. Brian Harsin. Brian Harsin would get back in there, wouldn't he? That'd be an interesting hire for them. The former Boise State coach, who I know his name was up when this job was open, when the San Diego State job was open. Brian Harsin is actually a really interesting name for that job. Went to Auburn. It didn't work there. Got a lot of money in a buyout. so you don't have to pay him a boatload, although you got to pay him. But Jay Hill's like their overwhelming favorite. But yeah, Bronco Mendenhall's name is on this message board. Again, whatever that means to you. But that's where this is coming from. Yeah, all right. I'm not going to lie. It makes it a little uneasy. Right? But
anytime coach's name is out there, the fan base is going to feel unsettled. Especially when you're excited or hype. You're looking at this game this weekend, bowl game, and then here you are.
Yeah. North Carolina has fired Mack Brown. The former national championship winning coach. He's 73 years old. He will not return next year. He will coach the final game of the year for North Carolina against North Carolina State. Mack Brown has won more games than any football coach in UNC history, and we deeply appreciate all he has done for Carolina football and our university. That was the athletic director. The only thing it didn't say is we wish him well. We wish him and his family well. Right? They left that part of the template out. So that just went down this morning. Wow. All right. That's some crazy stuff. How about this? Nuggets lose by, what they give up, 145 points last night? Mike Malone already is ripping his team. Coaches are losing their minds early, right? Dan Hurley.
He should. The Nuggets are a mess.
Yeah, he's bleep that, man.
The organization has totally mishandled this window with one of the best players on the planet.
Did they get complacent because they won one?
They got complacent and they gave Jamal Murray the worst contract in the NBA.
Well,
the dude can't play basketball.
That's saying something, dude. I mean,
$208 million for a guy that you can't rely on him.
I'm not telling you it's right. I'm just telling me it's the worst one. There's some really bad contracts in basketball.
$208 million to a guy that can't be the second best player on the floor for you.
Fair enough. All right, Kenny Thomas is going to be. We're going to talk some hoops. Kick it with Kenny coming up in the next segment. If you're searching for that ideal venue, party, gala, whatever, 2 people, 10 people, 200 people, 1,000, 20,000, Albuquerque Convention Center is your spot. Be at the center of it all, right in the middle of downtown Albuquerque. Diverse spaces of the Albuquerque Convention Center offer everything imaginable. They'll accommodate whatever you got. Intimate meetings, gatherings, expos, conferences, staff and service and food and beverage options that go above and beyond. This will be a dream event for you and all those who attend. They've got diverse layouts, every planner's desire. And when you talk with them, they will work with you on the menu. Their staff goes above and beyond. Every year, we host an event, Ferry's Led in New Mexico Bowl, at the Albuquerque Convention Center because they take care of our guests, and our whole business is hospitality. It's got to be good. They go above and beyond. If you are looking to plan an event, whatever it is, I don't care if it's a reception, a conference, a holiday party, make sure you take a look at what they're doing at the Albuquerque Convention Center. I know you've been to events there, so you understand how good it is. Parking adjacent in the parking structure, easy in, easy out. Be at the center of it all. Visit albuquerquecc.com for more information. albuquerquecc.com or go online at 505-768-4575. That's the phone number, 505-768-4575. Albuquerque Convention Center. Be at the center of it all.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, so the hotel was like literally a mile away, and Ed said, "I'll take him back. You guys can go." While I was breaking down the equipment.
Yeah, he should have had a rental car.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah. But man, it's been great. The Lobos are 4-1 right now. I would have loved to have seen them hit 100 again, but I feel like this is one of those games where I felt like it was a breakout game for them, just to build up that confidence. Basically, coming off of two games against UCLA and St. John's ranked 22, right? I feel like it was obviously the UCLA game was a great one, neutral court, but the St. John's one, I felt like there was a lot of bully ball in there a little bit. But I think it was a lesson learned. Playing against Eastern Conference teams, it's a totally different dynamic.
So let's go there, because to get to where you want to go, you're going to have to be big. You're going to have to play bully ball. St. John's got beat by, who beat them in double overtime? I just watched that game the other night. Was it A&M?
It was Baylor.
It was Baylor, and then they lost again to Georgia.
Yeah.
So they've lost 2 games. They lost by in double overtime, a game where they were up by 18 and then up by 5 with 18 seconds to go, and they can't make free throws. So they lose on a buzzer beater to Baylor, and then lost by 3 points to Georgia. But you got to be big.
Yeah.
Toppin's not there. It feels
we
to
don't
me,
say that name anymore.
Well, we do.
No, we don't.
He's really good, and he's not there. and Nelly's got to become a different player. I will tell you this: I like what a Tiki can bring you.
Oh, yeah.
Extra size. They're gonna. Nelly's got to be. I say even bigger. I don't know. You understand what that means.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're gonna have to get tougher.
I feel like I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. I would love to see a Tiki and Nelly play together for like maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, you might.
I feel like that would be a different dynamic, especially when it comes to the inside presence. Not that Nelly's not a shot blocker, but a Tiki's that more athletic, all over the place type of guy. And I feel like he's come in and he's given some productive minutes. Nelly, in the beginning of the season, it was kind of that backcourt play still, like it was last year, but. The last like three or four games or so, I feel like Nelly has been a little bit more dynamic, and he's applying himself by running the floor, posting up, being active, and staying aggressive. So if he can keep that up, I feel like it's going to be he's going to be obviously a great part of how the Lobos do in conference play. But we can't jump the gun because we got these 2 games coming up.
We're kicking it with Kenny. Kenny Thomas is in studio, the former Lobo great, 11-year NBA veteran, part of our program this morning.
What do you make of Mustafa in his offense and stepping up a bigger role this season?
Well, Emzil, obviously he stated that he's gotten bigger on the postgame show with Rob and Hunter, and you can kind of tell, especially how I feel like he's that perimeter guy that has kind of struggled from behind the arc a little bit. But the nice thing about him, he's changed his game. He's going inside a little bit more. He's identifying matchups, and I feel like the backcourt is starting to see the different matchups that Emzil has, and Nelly. But I really like Emzil putting the ball on the floor and being aggressive, because if he's attacking the basket, it's just going to open up a lot of different things for Nelly and the perimeter.
How good can this team be defensively? Because they're not going to magically find a bunch of shooters overnight. Can they be this good against the better opponents on their schedule in Mountain West play?
I agree with you when it comes to the Lobos, and especially how they're shooting on the perimeter. It's a little streaky, right? But once they get going, obviously we saw the other night that it was a big impact, especially with the guys getting out and kind of going and getting on the road. But I feel like defense is a key component, because obviously Patino has stressed that a lot. And obviously some guys are going to get chances to be able to come in off the bench and be productive on the defensive end. I feel like if they have opportunities come in and play defense, I feel like it'll transition over into the offense. I don't like the Lobos when they're being too passive on the perimeter, because I feel like with Dent coming downhill and True needs to come downhill a little bit more, it's going to open up a lot of other things when it comes to the Lobos getting inside and being able to knock down perimeter shots. It's going to open up. You guys asked some great questions, man.
That's what we do, man. I mean, what are you new to this show? Have you never been here before?
A little bit.
I mean, a little bit. Here's a wild card to me. Philip Borovichinen, I love his length. So the UCLA game, defensively, he was playing out guarding a point guard. And one of the biggest things I've heard about Lobo basketball the last couple of years, how small they were defensively on the perimeter.
Yeah.
And Donovan Dent's not huge, but I'm fine with who Donovan Dent is. I like True Washington as a bigger guard, and if Borovichinen can give you minutes, and I know he didn't come in till late in the game against Texas Southern, and we'll watch how that rotation evolves. He showed a little bit of offensive flash, right, against the second, back end of that game. So I don't want to buy too much into that. He's a wild card to me, and especially length defensively.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. He is a wild card, and I think Patino was sticking him in that lineup at the 3 to where they could add that length. But where does the offense come in? I feel like before the last game he was passive. I think that's why Pitino went with CJ. CJ's the guy that's coming off the bench, and sometimes he could be a little wild, but he's one of those guys that's being aggressive, and Pitino needs scoring because, like you saw, Pitino going a 1-3-1 in St. John's, that's keying in on Dent. That's obviously identifying that the Lobos perimeter is a dynamic aspect when it comes to the Lobos play. But I feel like that bench, AB's been coming in and playing great, man. The way all the stuff that kid's been going through the last couple of years with health issues and some other things, and he's coming out, and I feel like he's playing great ball. He's taking advantage of guys that are up on him on the perimeter, putting the ball on the floor and creating. And he's taking some big shots. So I feel like once he gets a little bit more comfortable, once Pitino establishes the rotation a little bit more, I feel like he's going to shorten it at some point, don't you? Because I feel like it's going to be like 8 or 9.
Well, I mean, you got two games that are tougher and matter. And I said after the UCLA game, and Kenny Thomas is with us. We're talking with the former Lobo, talking Lobo basketball. I thought you got a little bit of a cushion after the UCLA game, right?
Yeah.
And so there were 5 games that pop off the schedule non-conference, right?
Yeah.
It was UCLA, St. John's, these 2, and then VCU.
Yep. And
Richard Pitino said to me in the pregame show, and JJ, I know I mentioned this to you, it really stood out to me. He says, it's great to schedule, but if you lose them all, it doesn't matter. I'm like, whoa, I never thought about losing them all.
Yeah.
Right? And then you win the UCLA game, and okay, give you a little cushion. Then you lose St. John's. I think, you want to win at least 3 of the 5. I mean, you want to win them all, but you want to win at least 3 of the 5. So these are games that matter. I think the rotation tightens this week.
I agree with you. It has to tighten. I feel like we're not talking about him, but Satu.
Sacco?
Yeah, Sacco. Yeah. There we go. I said T, but Sacco.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a guy that could come in and be dynamic on the defensive end.
Long.
And not focus on offense unless you get opportunities, right? It's identifying your role. Your role is going to be determined based off of, I feel like, how you come in and play defense. I feel like Pitino's establishing that. And obviously he's going to have like that backcourt with CJ and True and Dent that's going to come in, and they're going to be the guys that's going to be able to have to get shots. And you got to get Nelly involved. I feel like Nelly has gotten stronger with his lower body. You can tell like he's a bigger presence in there, and I just want him to stay active. And I would love to see the Lobo. I think they're starting to get it when it comes to pick and rolls, but I would love to see them do more pick and rolls. Pick and rolls are never bad.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, the rotations are pretty tight. You go back to St. John's and only 5 players play 20 or more minutes, and then you get 4 or 5 minutes here or there. And I actually think that the biggest question is, can Donovan Dent hold up playing 38 minutes per game if keep bringing up his knee after every game?
I don't think I don't see 38 minutes a game like that. I feel like that's where CJ's going to come in, and he's inserting himself into the starting lineup. But you're going to have to get some more perimeter play from the bench, or because who's that big on the bench that's outside of Nelly that can actually score? So this is where I feel like Atiki's going to come in, and I think he can make an impact, especially with the Lobos being able to get out and not allowing second chance points. They're going to be huge because that's where the Lobos are good. But if you saw the other night, there was a lot of times to where a caller even called in to my call-in show to where the Lobos seem like they're impatient on the fast break and they force it.
That's interesting.
So you just have to kind of flow with the flow of the game. And I feel like Nelly and Atiki being able to run the floor, it's going to be able to allow the guards in transition to have more opportunities.
All right, we're going to take a break. Kenny Thomas is in. When we come back, I want to get in a little bit of coaches losing their mind, Dan Hurley losing his mind on the referee yesterday. And just your thoughts on there's a new athletic director in town and what from your perspective, I'm going to assume you haven't met him yet.
No.
But he was on with us yesterday. Your thoughts on the hire. It's the opening drive. Kenny Thomas is in with us. JJ Buck. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta. You're listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The man.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for...
off the air. You kind of sound like everybody else. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the guy. I hope it works out. Everybody's kind of got, a couple of questions and never been an AD before and never been here before. But I hope it works. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I just want somebody to come in here and see the community, right? The community, the passion, the commitment. Obviously, the Board of Regents made a decision, and this is what we have. This is who we have, and looking forward to meeting him. Obviously, any way, anyhow, I can help Lobo Athletics. Please let me know. If new staff's coming in or whatever it may be, I am here. I'm available. I'm very passionate about this community and Lobo basketball and Lobo Athletics because it gave UNM gave me an opportunity. I could have gone anywhere, but this community supported me. 18,000 people for a high school game. So, man, hey, we got to get this Lobo program back on track. And football's on the right path right now. Got a game coming up this weekend that we were just talking about. I'm real excited for that. And cross country, men and women, everybody's balling out. So I'm excited for Lobo Athletics.
All right, other stuff going around. You see Danny Hurley?
Yeah, that's
the UConn coach has won 2 national championships. Lost his mind in a November game. Are you supposed to go out to Maui and like your blood pressure drops?
Just be
right?
chill.
like you're supposed to go out. They lost a game to Memphis, and he just went off on the official. That was a joke. I watched it. Their guy made no attempt to block out on the play. Their guy half-assed it. I don't know what happened. I might have. Then he flops. Like he does these theatrics, and I might have lost my balance. Or like I get it. You're really good, but at some point, even really good, like Bobby Knight was really good, right? He crossed the line too. I just what are we doing?
In the heat of the moment, when it comes to sports, passion comes out, right? We have a tendency to overreact to a lot, right? Somebody called into the show talking about I wasn't going to allow them to throw somebody under the bus. I said, please don't use names. Coming at from the standpoint of players going at the referees and saying things, right? It happens. I was like, I've done it. I've said some inappropriate words myself, but I probably came back and apologized because I probably wanted to call down the way.
That's right.
But sports, man, it's just one of those things to where tension is. Yeah, where's JJ? Come on, JJ.
No, JJ says that all the time. It's sports, man.
It's sports.
What'd you think of him? Like it's an early season game, and I don't know. I know who you are, and I know how good you are, but for crying out loud, man.
Hey, it just slipped. Vomit of the mouth.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought? I thought he was over the line. I did.
I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, don't you agree, JJ, in the heat of the moment, man?
I think
it's
if we were talking about him every week doing this, that would be different.
I totally agree.
Yeah. He called the play a joke. Just ripped into him. So yeah, I think it's even the good ones can go over the line. I think you get a little full of yourself sometimes, and I would tell Danny. I mean, if you were saying, I don't know, do you get full of yourself sometimes? Do you think I don't know? I don't want to say you're above the game, but you're at the top of the game.
He's doing some amazing
No,
things
he
right
is.
now. But certain things are not allowed to be
So
said.
does winning at that level excuse just about everything?
No. Are you kidding me?
That
shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because he's a role model.
Yeah.
But we are human, and I think he came back and apologized. Hey, you made a mistake.
All right. You get Mountain West games today. San Diego State Creighton today. 21st ranked team in the country. That's at that Players Era Festival. What do you think about that tournament?
If you can't tell, somebody went to San Diego State.
Well,
he drops that bomb.
I didn't say that. They're playing the 21st ranked team in the country. What do you think about the Players Era Festival, where the players are getting it's an NIL tournament? And JJ, you probably know more about the intricacies of this. They're all getting NIL money to play in this tournament, right?
Yes, that's part of what they're trying to do with this event. Is NIL money is on the table for players.
So are they? So how does it work? Are they paying them they're paying them to play in it, or is it extra NIL money?
Yeah, is it incentivized if you win? Do you get? I honestly don't know the answer.
Oh.
But I know they got a hell of a field in this event.
Oh my goodness.
So you got San Diego State Creighton today. A great opportunity. Creighton's point guard evidently is out. So we'll see how that works. I don't know how healthy San Diego State is. Boise State plays Boston College today.
Ooh.
Fresno State plays Washington State. I mean, there's just tons of opportunity right now in this league. Boise State got by South Dakota State by 1 yesterday, the Cayman Islands. 83.
Didn't they win who won the Mountain West Conference already? I just saw that.
What do you mean?
You're talking about football, right?
No, basketball. 83,
Oh, okay.
83, 82 would be a hell of a football game.
I see. You didn't drop them. You didn't
Yeah.
drop any numbers.
Yeah.
See, so I thought you were talking
Sorry.
football.
Boise State beat South Dakota State yesterday. San Jose State got a win over UTEP, which will be a future Mountain West Conference team. So, and there's opportunities up and down this week for the Mountain West, and I just think it's really important for this league to take advantage of it. San Diego State plays. They get Creighton today, Oregon tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got to start winning some games now.
Yeah, because the Mountain West Conference is obviously not a powerhouse, or it's not getting the recognition that it's supposed to be getting. But it's one of those things to where you're just going to have to build it up and just continue to get players.
Thanksgiving Day, JJ, did you see the slate? Utah against St. Bonaventure, who's 6-0, sneaky good in the NIT.
Ooh.
Washington is, or Colorado State plays Washington in Palm Springs, same place where the Lobos will be. The same day the Lobos get Arizona State, UNLV plays Mississippi State. That's Chris Jans' team, who's always big and athletic and lanky and long and really good.
See, the way the game is transitioning right now, it's a lot of long guys and guys are playing on the perimeter. But once again, I'm gonna go back to the Lobos. I want to see Nelly and Atiki play together. I really do.
What do you think about that?
I really do.
Richard Pitino said it's not happening.
Oh, he said that already?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Because he does not like the offense that they could create with both those players on the floor.
He just thinks it slows down too much? Interesting. I mean, like obviously he likes to move the ball, right?
Yeah, but you got to slow it down a little bit. You got to get Nelly involved. But hey, this is exactly why I'm not the coach.
That might be the reason.
Oh, watch that.
I'm just asking. All right, Michael Malone, the Nuggets coach, lost it on his team. They gave up 145. I mean, again, it's November, man, and I get it. It's important, but JJ's cranky, right? I mean, your thoughts on the Nuggets?
Ooh,
yeah, they're mishandling Nikola Jokic. You have a generational talent, and they got complacent after winning a title.
Yeah,
and they just paid guys for winning the title. They didn't look at the fact that Jamal Murray's hurt and he's fell off a cliff the last 2 years. Gave him $208 million to miss 15 shots a game.
Yeah, and he's the one that's like going in on the team. It's insane how Murray he is going in on the team, and this is a guy that can't even stay on the floor. But Sacramento Kings, man, Mike Brown, they lost last night to OKC. They're 8-10. What were you laughing at, man? They're 8-10. Started out slow, went on a nice little run. Lost the last 4 games now. 4-7 at home. My guy, Mike Brown.
They are 4-7 at home.
They were 4-6 or 4-7 after last
They're
night.
4-6 at home.
Yeah, they're not taking care of home court, man. And then check out them Rockets. The Rockets are balling out.
They're third in the West right now. How about Golden State to start the playoffs?
You can't sleep on them. Everybody's like, Clay's gone. They don't have pieces and all of that.
Buddy Hield's pretty nice, though, eh?
That was a great ad.
A great ad.
And what's so crazy is, like, the Warriors been trying to get, when I was doing NBC Sports TV, for the Kings, the Warriors were trying to get Buddy then. And now, look, it seems like he's balling out. There's no pressure. There's no pressure on him. When he was with the Kings, I felt like he was pressured to do so much. Yeah, he had to do more. But now he just sits back and he lets that thing fly. He's having fun.
Happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hey, if you're listening out there, tomorrow afternoon from 2 to 4, I will be at the Albertsons off of Tramway and Academy. My wine, I will be signing bottles, taking pictures. Day before Thanksgiving, it's going to be busy up there.
Packed, yeah.
Come up there. I will be there. I will be right there with my 4 wines. I got a red blend. I got a Cab. I have a Sauvignon Blanc, and I have a Chardonnay. Nice. Great gifts for Christmas.
Well, and great drinks for your Thanksgiving table.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
And then Kenny will be on over on News Radio KK. Will be after Lobo basketball both Thursday and Friday. So after the post-game show, you can call in and talk to Kenny and voice your opinion on Lobo basketball. Have a great holiday. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Appreciate you guys. Looking forward to the great year.
Winter weather's coming. No better way to combat the snow and the dirt than with service from On the Spot Automotive Detailing. I can't recommend my friends at On the Spot Automotive Detailing enough. Their ceramic coating and paint protection film help prevent scratches and damage from road debris. Plus, you can say goodbye to snow, dirt, and water stains. There's a reason they won Best of the City. You know why? Because they're Best of the City. Keep your car looking like new this winter. Book today at On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Also, Just have them come out and detail your vehicle. On the spot comes to you. On the spot, where it works for you, when it works for you. You don't take it to them and drop it off because you don't have time. I get it. They get it, so they come to you. You're in the office. You're in the house. They're out in the parking lot. They're in the driveway. They detail your vehicle. When they're done, it looks and feels and smells like the day you took it off the lot, and it is a great gift as you're going through gift-giving season. On the spot automotive detailing. Book and buy online. It's all right there at otsdetailing.com. It's otsdetailing.com.
This Giving Tuesday, December 3rd.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree.
Since 1990, JJ. Now, granted, the playoffs have expanded, but only 7 teams who started 4-7 made the playoffs. Now, 2 teams, Washington in 2020 and Carolina in 2014, won their divisions with sub-500 records, but that's not going to happen this time. They're in 3rd place behind the Eagles and the Commanders. I mean, what? Cowboy fan, how you living? Jerry said, it's not crazy Mike McCarthy can get a contract extension. It could happen. Continued quote, I just think the game is too important. The win is too important. You look at a coach, and boy, a coach is sitting there. Don't think they don't add up their wins and losses during their career, and they don't like to have a loss on there if they can just ask for it. And so my point, I don't even know what the hell he says sometimes. And he continues. And so my point is, for all of us, a win is a very satisfying thing under any circumstance, and it helps you build. And so there's a lot of ambiguity with those draft picks, as you know. I've had draft picks that were extraordinarily high that didn't work. I've had them low that knocked out of the park. And so you got to weigh what happens when you get the picks and odds of you knocking one out of the park as well, as opposed to winning a game. What are we? He was asked about tanking.
He's going to talk himself into re-signing Mike McCarthy.
Sure as hell sounds that way, doesn't it?
Do you think, and that, I think a fair question is Mike McCarthy the problem?
I was just going to ask if Mike McCarthy wants to be here. Do you think he wants to continue as head coach of the Cowboys? If Mike McCarthy's on the market, is he a viable candidate in, pick it, New York or Chicago or...
I would stay in Dallas over any New York franchise.
Fair enough. All right, fair enough. Carolina,
one that would be interesting
New Orleans.
is Cincinnati finishes the season outside of the playoffs.
I'm listening.
How they feeling about Zach Taylor?
Well,
Mike McCarthy sliding in there, bringing a Super Bowl victory on his resume.
See, Mike McCarthy doesn't win you the press conference, right? He doesn't win you the press conference. And so much of it, I got to win the press conference. I got to make that boom higher. But will Mike McCarthy win you games? Kind of crazy, though. This morning, North Carolina fired Mack Brown, 73 years old. He was 44-32 at Carolina, helped coach the last game of the year.
How do you feel about that? Like, big old release, happy Thanksgiving, you're fired, coaching last game.
How do I feel about it if I'm home?
All the parties involved.
Yeah. From Mack Brown, I got to figure it probably isn't a surprise, right? They've been a disappointment this year. But at the same token, I'm really bummed because it's probably my last one, right? I mean, as good as he's been, and he's won a national championship, I'm going to guess a guy at 73 doesn't get another shot. Now, they didn't say what was going to happen in that bowl game. They're 6-5. And they had won 3 of their last 4 before they lost to Boston College. They beat Virginia and Florida State and Wake Forest. They started out 3-0. They beat Minnesota, Charlotte, and North Carolina Central.
And this comes a day after Mack Brown yesterday said he was returning as head coach next year.
He said so.
Like, sure as heck you're not.
Yeah, but you're not. Was the downfall of the James Madison game where they gave up 70? That game was nuts.
I don't think that was necessarily the downfall. I also wonder, like, what were their expectations?
Well,
like, they just think all of a sudden, like, they are ACC contenders, and thus they're not hitting those benchmarks.
You know, I look at it. Okay, the James Madison game was horrible. You lose to Duke by a point, a good Pitt team by 10, a good Georgia Tech team by a touchdown. I mean, you weren't horrible. And then you came back and you pounded Virginia, you pounded Florida State, good win over Wake Forest, and you lose by 20 to Boston College. Like, at what point did they make up their mind? You know, when you just start out, they win 3 in a row, they lose 4 in a row, they win 3 in a row. At what point did you say, yeah, we got to make a move?
Yeah, you know, to find that positioning in the 17-team ACC.
Right? I look at it, I don't know where this thing, you know, when did you decide to make that move? But it's a really interesting one.
That's just these conferences, man.
Yeah. Yeah. SMU and Clemson and Miami are sitting now. Is SMU in the championship game? How did they break their
they're
tie?
7-0.
Yeah. So they're ranked 8, 9, and 12. They're 7-0. Clemson's 7-1. Miami's 7-1.
Miami's 6-1.
Right, 6-1. Right, and so if
Syracuse last,
if SMU beats Cal, which you figure again, something weird's going to happen this one. I'm just telling you, something weird's going to happen. But if SMU beats Cal, Clemson's done with league play. They got South Carolina, and if Miami beats Syracuse, SMU's in. And is it Clemson or is it Miami because they didn't play each other? I'm going to guess it's Miami because they're ranked higher. Is that how that's how the Mountain West breaks the ties? Like if UNLV and Colorado State both win this weekend.
Good question for Jerry Palm if he's able to join us tomorrow.
Yeah, he is. Tomorrow at 8:30, Jerry Palm's going to be with us. He's confirmed. He's moved his dates. He's thankful to be with us. Yeah, look, everybody loves these bloated leagues until they don't. Until you go, damn, there's 18 teams and 16 teams and nobody played each other. Now we got all these ties to break, and how the hell do we break them head to head?
There's nothing that's cool to me about a 17-team ACC and
I agree with you.
The Big 10 plus whatever now.
I can't agree with you more. You don't play anybody. You don't play half your damn league. In fact, you don't play more than half your league. You play 8 league games, or I guess Big Ten's going to play 9 league games, and there's 18 teams. I mean, you play half your league. Why am I in the league?
And then everyone wants to get away from divisions. It's like that's the only thing that makes sense now when you have like 18 teams in your league.
Yeah, but then when one division's so unbalanced and all your best teams are on one side, and
don't play a balanced schedule anyway.
Yeah, look, this thing is off the rails in that regard, and I don't think you're putting the toothpaste back in the tube. It's gone that way, and
once it's out, it's never going back in.
I think.
Have you ever put toothpaste back in the tube? Of course not.
Have you tried? How do they get it in? They got a little like pump that just pumps it in.
Got to be like how they get the filling into a donut.
It's just like an injection. Yeah, I don't know how you do it. How do you get it? Like, okay, so like a Neosporin thing, like with a really small, like little tubes. How do you get into that?
Type of needle.
Just a little needle. I mean, that little opening's a needle, like a needle size. How do you
seal on it?
How do you get the Neosporin in there? Or like the little the little minis still have a big.
And that hard Neosporin worker at the factory plant.
Guy's working his ass off. I screwed this one up. At least he doesn't have any cuts on his hands. Wrap it up.
All the Neosporin he needs.
His hands are fine. Wrap it up when we get back. Everything you need to know. Still time for you to get in at 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as Red and Green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need.
Taking you home on a Tuesday. Short week, boys and girls, for most of us. You will be here tomorrow. And then probably like the rest of you, going to take Thursday and Friday and celebrate Thanksgiving with our families, except for JJ, who's going to be on a plane to paradise. You get Friday in paradise, though, don't you? Just to hang out on the beaches in Honolulu.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer being away from the fam, and that's back-to-back Thanksgivings. I haven't been home, so it's
that's
a little
true. Fair enough.
bit of a salt in the wound. But
All right, but if you're going to be away from the
complaining,
family,
like,
at least
Hawaii.
you're in Honolulu.
Dude, the stuff we went through last year, like that was insane. So I'm happy to be going to
Where
Hawaii.
were you last?
Cancun.
Which again, on the surface, sounds like paradise, but
We get detained at the airport, and they're
You
like, why are you
did.
coming into this country? I'm like, well,
yeah. And what's all this crap that you're
Yeah.
traveling with?
and then they hand you a bill to walk out of the airport. You're like, oh,
Did
well,
you have to? So do you have to travel with the radio equipment on this trip?
No,
Carlisle does,
football,
right?
not my responsibility.
So it's Carlisle.
And
right?
we're going to Hawaii, so I'm happy.
So Carlisle
United
gets a
States.
trip. Carlisle's got a good deal on this one, though.
Yeah.
He gets to go out there. His deal is set up the equipment.
Mhm.
That's good.
Point out some tacklers.
This is his first Thanksgiving as a dad.
I'm excited. Friday, looking at the schedule, the number one team in the country, UCLA women, are playing.
In Honolulu?
Yes.
Okay. You gonna go?
And Fresno State's there as well. So I'm going to go see one of my buddies that works for Fresno State, watch some high-quality women's basketball, too.
I don't know, man. I like basketball. If you're telling me I get a day on the beach just to go
Well,
to
it's the morning and afternoon. The
Okay.
games are at like
Easy to
noon
go.
and 3.
All right, fair enough. When I was in Miami a few weeks ago, I went to that Miami Duke game, and then came back and watched the first half of the Lobos in Wyoming on my phone while I literally had my feet in the water walking a couple miles on the beach. It was
That's
nice.
the plan. It's the number one team in the nation, and maybe do a little pre-scouting on Fresno State.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then surrounded by beach time, I'm not complaining.
All right. Bourne says people procrastinate, Jeffy. From the time you are in school and turn in homework at the last minute, football's no different. Most won't even start looking for the Lobo game until Saturday. And they're going to hit the roof when they realize post time is 9 o'clock and the game isn't on TV. And you know what? What do you want me to tell you? Yes. All right. Yes. What do you want me to tell you? There's the app. It's the Team One app, TEAM1. Got to download the app. You got to go down to channels. You got to hit on Hawaii football or Hawaii sports, and then you can watch the game on your phone. 9 o'clock Saturday night. You know who's got it tough is like Ned. Ned's got to do the post game show by himself. He's got to watch the damn game on his phone, sitting here at the radio station.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, boys and girls. All right, what do you got to know as you go through your day? Ravens beat the Chargers last night, 30-23. Derrick Henry ran for 140 yards for the Ravens. Lamar Jackson threw for 2 touchdowns, ran for another. 30-23 Ravens over the Chargers last night. Today, North Carolina fired their football coach, 73-year-old Mack Brown. So there are only 2 active coaches, JJ, who have won a national championship. Is it Kirby Smart and Dabo Swinney? That's it? Because Mack Brown was the 3rd.
That's crazy.
How
is that possible?
It is bonkers, right? Because Nick Saban's no longer in it. Go down the list of who's won national championships of late. It is just beyond bonkers to me. But I think that's the case, right? Only 2 active coaches in college football currently have won a national championship. It's insane. But that's the way it is. And Cowboy fan, God bless you. God bless you, but your owner today was on his radio hit in Dallas on 105.3 The Fan, and Jerry Jones was asked, is it crazy to think Mike McCarthy's going to get a contract extension to be your head coach? And the quote from Jerry, I don't think that's crazy at all. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. He's been there, done that. He has great ideas. We got a lot of football left. End quote. All right, then. That might be your guy. I'm going to tell you I don't think it is. I think they're going to sit down at the end of the year and agree to part ways is how this is going to be, don't you? I don't think Jerry wants to. I think Jerry likes McCarthy, personally likes him. I'm not saying he's soft. I think he's got a spot for Mike, and I'm sure Mike's a great dude. And I'm with Ned. I think McCarthy's a good football coach. I don't think he's horrible. I don't know that I think he's great, but he's won a Super Bowl. I think he's good. But I think the time here, that franchise feels like it needs a re-kick.
Kind of similar towards the end of Jason Garrett's tenure. That feeling.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit like that.
A little more
I'll tell you, I think
higher ceiling in the regular season for a few years before this year. You just wonder, with Jerry Jones and everyone's throwing all these outlandish things out there, and that hasn't been him at the head coaching position.
Yeah, we'll watch it. Rams receiver DeMarcus Robinson arrested, suspicion of DUI. He was only JJ. Ned will know where this is. Ned's back there with you. He was over in my hood. He was on the 101 northbound out in the valley. He was in Woodland Hills. That's where I went to high school. JJ, right there at the 101, kind of about between Tampa and Winnetka. Right there on the way to DeSoto's, the next exit up there. You know where it is, going northbound.
What have you noticed about Burke? Is there like the way people talk here when it comes to places that like stand out?
Not really. Is there
there's that Cali thing. Like it is a thing. SNL did a skit on it, and there's all kind of stuff about it. I'm just wondering, like when you go to certain places, like what?
I don't know, because Addie says Michigan. Everybody's from like 40. Where are they from? Oh, like 40 minutes from here. Oh, like 40 minutes from here. That's what she says. Yeah, I don't know that there's something here. Anyway, Robinson was going more than 100 miles an hour at 5:13 in the morning on the 101. He was pulled over and released to a responsible party. 100 miles an hour, 5:13 in the morning. I guess nobody's on. Well, I would say nobody's on the freeway at that point, but it's L.A. Somebody's always on the freeway. Sherman, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Sherman?
So I've never, ever been a Cowboy fan.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
But $10 says McCarthy stays.
All right. I don't know that I want to bet against you, but since since the stakes are so high, I'll bet you $10.
Stakes are so high. We're on, man. Wow.
All right, I got you.
Something to watch the rest of the season for now, man.
That'll almost be a beer.
All right. Hey,
see you.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
You too.
Yes, sir.
See
Take
you.
care.
All right, almost. I mean, that's almost a beer, right?
$10 on McCarthy.
So he's got $10 on McCarthy. I got $10. What was my bet? What did I take?
That he won't be there.
All right, I don't even know what the hell I just did. There was one other thing I wanted to tell you. Oh, Florida State keeps losing commits. Florida State's going to be one of the most interesting things to watch in the offseason in football because they are so bad, but yet they would owe Billy Napier so much money to go away. And I keep telling you, these buyouts with the house settlement and with the revenue sharing, these institutions, no matter how flush they are, there's a point where they can't just keep paying coaches $20, $30, $40, $50, $60 million to go away, like Jimbo Fisher got. Florida flipped another four-star recruit from Florida State, a running back, this morning.
So that's Billy Napier, who Florida has publicly backed, and Florida State with Norvell.
And that's what I meant, Florida State on Norvell. Yeah.
Just like, how can we get that much money?
Thank you to, who's in today? Kenny Thomas was here. Tony Sanchez, Aggie coach. If you want to listen to that, Tony was really good today, man. Winning is fun. Aggie fan, it's over on our website, sportsanimалabq.com. Go take a listen. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. Thank you to Kenny Thomas, too. Did I say that? 2 Men on here at 4. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning. We'll start at, I don't know, you want to start at 7 a.m.?
Sounds good.
All right, Jerry Palm will be with us tomorrow. Adrian, great work. I'm headed over to ProView Networks here in a little bit. Big day for you, huh?
Huge day.
All right, enjoy it. Hey, be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543.